Post.
What's his stream? Because I don't want to be. Every time I come with you, Connor, I'm always like 5 seconds behind, and like you'll be like, oh my god, this crazy play, and I'm just watching like the play ball screen.
It's talk about it, Warren.
It's Ben 10 with 2 ends, 93.
Warren, we need your quick thoughts on
which has 2 ends, the Ben or the 10. Just kidding.
The
Tim's 8-5. Good.
Listen, nice. I asked the impossible out of my color commentators. That's what it is. Welcome to BLN. Yeah, because Ben's got Hoop, then you, then I think he plays Lucky. So like he's
got to play Hero too. He plays me week 17, week Hero 16, I think.
No, he doesn't play Hero. He plays Kook.
I saw the Packers on his schedule. I don't know if I was looking at the wrong thing.
We're talking about Ben?
What was I talking about? I thought I was talking about Ben, or was I looking at Panthers' schedule a second ago?
I don't know. I know that Ben plays Kook next week, so I don't know.
I don't know either.
Ben clearly wants us to talk about the playoff breakdown here, since he's focusing on this screen. So
I think that Vegas team could really use a win here, despite availability or any other things.
I would say so. Really, let me pull up Neon real quick on my phone. It's extremely tight. Honestly, in both conferences.
Yes, and like Duty at 6 seed kind of surprised me a little bit.
Duty's the only I don't care. Like he's the only person in the AFC I don't want to play.
He's in that division of death. I don't know.
And it's not because I'm like, oh wow, like he's like so sick at Madden. It's just because like I'm gonna have to stop 30 carries with Freight Train, and I just don't look forward to it's just not fun. It is not fun at all.
So Kook's 8-5 right now. There are 2 guys, Allen and Hero, that are 7-6, so they're creeping up. I mean, this is a situation where where Tim's looking at either if he wins, he might have kind of a shot at the division based on Ben's remaining schedule, or if he loses, then all of a sudden it's gonna be hard just to make the playoffs. Period. So this is a big one.
The playoff game for him then.
Yeah, this is. But honestly, not Ben quite so much, but Tim should definitely be treating this as a playoff game.
Yeah.
And this is a game where Ben beat the brakes off of Tim in week 1. I remember watching that game. It was not competitive, so we'll see what happens. It'll be fun. I don't know. I'm looking at the NFC, and yes, up until yesterday, you would have had Alex as the pretty clear favorite. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I'm scared.
It's honestly you could see maybe 4 or 5 people in the NFC representing them in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You could say the same thing about the AFC, I guess, but it's I feel like it's it's such a disparity between conferences. I don't even it's crazy to see it. And what's interesting now is some teams are on the downswing and some teams are on the way up, and it's really been the last couple of weeks. So,
the 2 guys in the NFC with the most recent playoff success, Allen and Hero, if the season ended right now, they're not even in the playoffs. We could be looking at a very different playoff slate here in a week. If, let's say, Justin and Jesse drop out and then those 2 come in, all of a sudden you're looking at what's on paper a far more, I don't know if balance is the right word, but an NFC slate where you could see a lot more users suddenly winning out and getting to the Super Bowl. I don't see the NFC winning the Super Bowl, no matter who it is. Little Alex has looked insane. You've looked insane. You could take one of the 3 AFC North guys, Cody, Austin, Tahuti. They've all looked really good. It's tough to envision.
If you take all the playoff teams, what is there, 14 teams on the screen? I would say the AFC is 11 of those, right? But it doesn't, in one game series, it's really anything can happen.
Yeah.
Like even watching Ben was playing someone a couple weeks ago, and like he just marching down the field like no problem, like the entire game. So like you never know what you're going to get in a game, and you never know like what's. Sometimes when things work, and it's just like, that's like I said, the Dahudi thing, where it's like I just got to sit there and stop the run for 45 minutes and just hope like he doesn't break one, and it's like anything can happen.
Morty in the chat saying Allen for sure going to win out. I'm looking at his schedule. It's Jesse, Steele, Wozy, whoever the Cardinals are. This is embarrassing. I don't even know. But yeah, it's not on paper the most intimidating schedule in the world, especially against Jesse. He's been in a free fall recently. No, it's gonna be interesting for sure. It's definitely a playoff slate where you have, I would say, based on what we've seen in regular season, probably Little Alex is the favorite to win, but there are like 7, 8, 9 guys who, like, if I told you they won the Super Bowl, you wouldn't be shocked necessarily. So that'll be fun. But as we get into this one, it is the 10-4 Atlanta Falcons. It is the 8-6 Carolina Panthers. I am doing play-by-play because Cmass's computer said no, Moss. Welcome to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I am joined by Cmass and Warren. Boys, how we feeling?
Feeling good. I think everything, it's almost playoff time. So let's kind of see what intensity these guys bring to the game and see how it starts.
Mm-hmm. Now, Cmass, I did slander the NFC there for a good 2 minutes without even asking your thoughts on it. Just before we get to this game, do you agree with the idea that the AFC is way more stacked? Do you disagree? How are you feeling about the two conferences going into the playoffs here?
I don't even see him in the commentary booth.
Oh, yeah, I said Connor didn't get my message. 1 second. Well, my shit crashed again. I'm going to be viewer. All right, it's just you and me. Well, welcome to Bank of America Stadium here. This is a very fitting way to kick off our first BLN stream in about a month here as we have play action here. Bryce Young, the rookie quarterback, with a simple boot concept as nothing is open, but Bryce Young's going to take off, make the most of it, and you do not want to take a hit, but he will. Gain of 13 as Tim opens the game with the first down.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed on the play was I saw the ref for the first time on the field, standing at midfield. I really forgot they're in the game, but he's there.
He is there. He is watching. Yeah, no, he's normally... That's very strange.
Yeah.
First and 10, Atlanta really stacking the box here as Bryce Young once again will drop back. Only 3-man rush. He is a lob wide open Higgins. AJ Terrell, for some reason, tried to go to the right. Could have been a touchdown if he was ran straight, but a chunk play here. 2 chunk plays really to start off for Carolina.
Yeah, first play, you don't want to take a hit with the quarterback. That could have been a fumble. The next play, he literally had a touchdown and decided to not score. There was a video. Who was it? It was one player where he was every time he got the ball, he intentionally didn't score. It might have been Calvin Ridley or something, and that's what it reminded me of. He went out of his way to not do it, but nonetheless, good play.
Very good plays. Now Bryce Young once again under center, starting with 3 straight under center plays. As we have a toss, which is not the most in vogue run play that we've seen. Is we're going to have, and this is something I've seen crop up more in the last few weeks for some reason, unnecessary roughness on a slightly late hit there by the Falcons. As the Panthers has been a weird drive, but they're moving here so far.
Yeah, Ben has to coach his team a little bit better than that. No late hits. I know they don't want to give up the toss, but he can't hit the dude out of bounds. It's a penalty.
Absolutely. Is now Tim already knocking on the doorstep here. Again, this was, if y'all didn't catch our kind of introductory comments earlier, this was a blowout in Ben's favor here as Sanders had a lane, decided to cut it upfield, which not the worst decision, but second and goal, and now field getting more compressed. This is where I personally struggle to score. We'll see if Tim is better than your play-by-play man. As let's see who we got in here. It says we have 8 viewers, which is pretty wild. We got Morty, Warren, obviously checking in, Cloud, Cmass, myself. So big shout out to all of y'all as we have a I-form concept here, Bresson with a fake hike. Don't know who that's going to fool us. We have a stretch as Will Myers Sanders hit it. Yes, he does. Touchdown, Carolina.
Points are points. Didn't have to be, it was a good drive. It was an awkward drive, but a good drive nonetheless. And he kind of bowling balled off the guy with that, just kind of shot off the defender into the end zone. So, 6 points to 6 points. So it's a great start.
Shout out to Justin. That is his running game is just kind of ping-ponging off of pulling guards. But, great start. I mean, again, like I said, this was a not a particularly competitive game in week 1. It was a game that Atlanta won 30-10, and honestly, it was less competitive than that even would indicate. So we'll see. I mean, Ben, I think the league has kind of assumed this whole time that Ben would just kind of, Milo, please, baby. Milo! The cat's in the background, so I apologize for that. She wants to have a GM meeting, but this is a division where everyone kind of assumed that Ben would kind of, sleepwalk his way to a divisional title, but Tim saying not so fast here. We'll see if it keeps up, as Desmond Ritter and company will take the field for the first time. This time he is under center, as we have a straight-up dive play, Bijan Robinson, the rookie phenom in real life, starting with a gain of 1.
Yeah, and it's like I said, earlier, is that the game's changed a bit from launch, so people are rising and falling, and right there, there's a 1-yard gain. At launch, it's probably like a 12-yard run. Players are getting up blocked a little bit better. There's a little more consistency with tackling, and this is a big drive just to come try to get points and not fall behind.
Dive plays also far more viable now than they were at launch. I remember, especially the under center dives, they used to take like forever to hand the ball off for some reason. So you very easily see this coming, as Desmond Ritter drop back, has Pitts, did not go to Pitts, now goes to Pitts, as able to hold on to it there as the superstar tight end Kyle Pitts, but only a gain of 3, and the Panthers on the verge of getting a stop here. We'll see if they can.
Yeah, I thought I was watching a Cowboys game for a second with the halfback out tight end drag.
Oh my goodness.
So it's just what it is. And the highlighting the blitzers on this play is huge. This is a big tell. Good ability.
Absolutely. So he drops back as we have a slant pass to Jones and a easy first down. Did a good job there. Had the kind of the orbit motion over there, got the user to bite, and then the slant was wide open there against the off coverage. Now Desmond Ritter will drop back, 5-man rush, may have man open instead. Desmond Ritter takes off, has X, continues to have X, now goes to him. This is, I don't actually know who this is, but Williams there with the big game. Mike Williams.
Former Chargers, great. Yeah.
Gotcha. Hi, Tate! Yeah. Matt and I love pulling defeat out of the jaws of victory. Shout out to Matt. As we now have Ben, after a bit of a shaky start, starting to put together a nice drive of his own. He will do an inside zone Bijan Robinson with absolutely nothing.
Yeah, 2nd and 13 kind of stinks, but good drive so far. I mean, he's in field goal range. You just want to get positive plays, positive yardage on this play, and just keep yourself in a 3rd and manageable.
Absolutely is. He was set up for that. It was really, I think it was Dan that kind of introduced people to this play called I don't even know what it's called, the mountain halfback swing, I think it's called. That was really good last cycle. Still pretty good this cycle, but only goes for gain of 2. And now, you're talking about 3rd and manageable. This is not that 3rd and 11.
Yeah, plays that only have like one option just drive me crazy, because what if it's not open? And, see what happens here on 3rd down.
3rd and 11 already on the edge of field goal range. Also probably in field goal range given how Madden is. As a zig route hits Kyle Pitts, able to fall forward easily, the MVP of this game so far for the Falcons, as he's able to convert that 3rd and long, keep the drive going.
Madden 24 special, double flip route.
Double zigs, let's go, baby.
I mean, you gotta cover Kyle Pitts on 3rd down. I mean, that's where he's going.
Yeah. I mean, that was my entire strategy against Ben, was just user Kyle Pitts oh my goodness, this is right again. Oh, wow. There have been more of those recently. I don't know if you've seen that in your games, but just wide open drops. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I know Madden makes you drop it if how his player cut across the field there. I think they might make it catching traffic, or I got 2 guys in the zone, even though they're not there. It's just weird. But yeah, I've seen it way too much. That's a touchdown right there.
Yeah. Yeah, seemingly in the second half of the season, I've seen, at least personally in my games, I've seen way more drops, as we have a toss out of gun, interesting play call. Once again, Bijan Robinson, he's trying to get Bijan going, his 3rd rush attempt. It's not working so far, we'll just say that, as Vegas odds, we finally get a Tim postgame interview up, plus 10,000, Dan. Plus 10,000. As we have once again 3rd and long, and again, user Kyle Pitts, which he will do, although he's going to have B open. Hits B as the deep in route is wide open as Jones able to fall forward. And once again, Tim keeps getting him in these uncomfortable 3rd and long situations, but it's been pretty easy here for Ben so far.
Yeah, very vanilla defenses on these 3rd downs. So maybe he'll start to bring some pressure.
Yeah, I would hope so. You can't let Ben sit back there and have all day. Let those routes develop here as this is first and goal as here is again another dive play. Bijan Robinson falls forward and gets touchdown of his own.
Yeah, drive took a little longer than Tim's, but it's a tie game, and I think both players probably feel pretty confident in their offenses right now. So I want to see again. First drive, you feel it out a little bit, see what adjustments are made. Kyle Pitts obviously is the main target, as Tim was playing a lot of man coverage on third down, so maybe he'll switch that up. But we'll kind of see what he does on his second drive.
Yeah, Tim's defensive adjustments here are going to be very interesting, especially since these two guys have already seen each other once, and I'm sure these guys have watched each other's gameplay as well as Devin Duvernay, former Madden 21 Cleveland Brown great there. Super Bowl champion Devin Duvernay, not to brag, but able to take the knee, and now we're going to see Tim come out in a full house package, which I'm not used to seeing, not on the goal line here. This is interesting, but so he was able to do here. I know there is kind of a dual wheel concept out of this. Here's some play action. This is the dual wheel. Has the wheel open, goes to it. Here is Higgins, and Higgins with another big chunk play, breaking tackle. Wow, my goodness, Higgins with a one-play touchdown. Wow.
I don't even know who that man is. I don't even know what that play is. That was wild. That was literally rolling whatever in craps, whatever number you need to roll like that. That was everything worked perfect. That was wild. Great play. Shoot, I did not see that coming.
That is, so there are two passing plays in Full House. There's everyone runs a hitch route, and then there's that. And there, I don't know why you come out in Full House on your own 25. Just a very odd formation to come out in, but it works. 75 yards later, Elijah Higgins able to break the play in and out. Atlanta, gotta feel like they just got punched in the mouth a little bit here. We'll see if they're able to put together another nice, long, sustained drive. We'll see what happens. This is a nice and aggressive play call here as he immediately goes up the seam, not able to come down with it.
Yeah, I like it. Just try to move the ball quick. Try to respond quickly. Giving up one play score is really demoralizing after working so hard on your own drive. So
yeah. I played a playoff, or it wasn't a playoff game, but it was an important regular season game against Tahuti. He put together 13 play, just a classic Tahuti drive, a 13 play, 75-yard drive, took up nearly the entire first quarter. And then I hit him with a kick return touchdown after, and I knew he had to be just raging. I was that was a bit of psychological warfare, I guess. But 14-7 here, nice out route there. Gets the first down as we are going to have a stretch to the weak side. Bijan Robinson, again, not able to hit it, but we've seen Ben miss a couple of holes already in the running game, which is interesting here.
Do we know what abilities Bijan has or no?
Oh, God. I could look at Neon and check. I'm not going to, but I want to say jukebox and then one of the passing ones, running back apprentice or something. I'm not sure. But we are going to have a counter to the left, one of my favorite play calls, but it does not hit, and that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. It's just been nothing but offense so far.
I'm going to sound like a broken record from last Madden, but don't run on second down. There's literally no point.
Well, you would hate watching my games then. Oh, my goodness.
I hate watching everyone's games. It just drives me nuts. Because, especially a counter. A counter is you're praying for a great block. Inside zone or something like that, you can or a stretch, you can maneuver it a bit, counter it. You're at the mercy of whatever the defense does.
This feels targeted at this point, but I'll allow it here. 3rd and 5. As once again in a 3rd and medium situation here, so we've got triple verse there on the right side. Once again, Kyle Pitts screamed at Lavu, who knows, but he gets home immediately there on the 4-man rushes. That is the first stop of the game here as Tim takes back over.
Yeah, Ben was full throttle that drive, a little too full throttle. His first drive, he moved the ball by short out routes, whip routes, digs, things like that, and he was just going super streak heavy, and no one was open.
90-0 there. Yeah, we saw an out on the first play, but yeah, after that it was streak counter streak, and none of it worked. And we will see Tim take back over. Tim's got to be feeling pretty good. And again, I hate to keep repeating myself, but to those of you who weren't here, this division is not decided yet. Not whatsoever. Tim would be in a pretty solid position, in my opinion, to win this division if he's able to take this game. So what he was able to do is, what a stat line for Bryce Young, 3 for 3 for 125 and a tutty. It's just been chunk plays here for the Panthers.
Justin Fields in preseason numbers.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah, Ben's got himself a good roster of this team. This Atlanta team is pretty solid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, he's got a lot of ability players, a lot of really solid young talent, especially if he's able to keep developing, Bijan and Pitts and guys like that. A couple defensive weapons, too. Yeah, he's got a nice roster. I mean, Ben's always been one of the betters. We have an RPO as Marshall falls forward. I got to say, these Panthers are up for it here. They're just breaking tackles, seems like, every play.
Yeah, it seems like their team's got a little more juice than Atlanta, breaking tackles and just outrunning everyone. Ben's showing blitz here, so let's kind of see how the Panthers react.
Seems that way as he audibles into another man coverage one that's a little less scary. Here's Bryce Young once again. I'll drop back, but we see another chunk play as we are going to see a deep shot. And he's doing. Just didn't turn around, and that is another massive play through the passing game for these Panthers.
Tim's playing with fire, man. He's had a couple plays that could have went really wrong, but they've gotten really right. So, I mean, hey, there's a bomb. He caught it. Good play. But I don't know what Ben was doing on that play. He should just click on and picked it off.
Clicked onto Okuda, yeah. I mean, he just... I don't know. That was weird. As we have a toss to the right, Sanders with not a lot, but... I mean, Carolina, I know the crowd's buzzing. I know Tim's buzzing. This has been an electric start offensively. I don't associate Tim with these just like huge chunk plays, but it's been working, so I've got to give him credit as we have what looks like one of those dime 146 kind of edge blitzes where they telegraph it as we have an inside zone Miles Sanders with not a lot. First, third and long of the game here, I believe, for Carolina.
Yeah, I would like to see on that first down just come out in that big set and run play action. You did the same thing with Full House, and you notice that Ben's been playing a lot of man against that, so you can kind of get your routes open. Now he's in a third and long.
Yeah, showing man as Ben, but coming out in zone. This is something I love to do, especially in a third and long situation. Kind of play with your opponent's eyes here a little bit. As Bryce Young will drop back, drag route falls incomplete. Was never going to be a first down anyway. As Carolina's going to set off a 3. I mean, Ben's got to be breathing a huge sigh of relief right now.
Yeah, there was really nothing there. That's a tough situation to get a touchdown, and at least he kept it to 3. And you don't want to make the mistake. You get the points. You go up 2 scores, 17-7 at the beginning of the second. So terrific start for Tim.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have hated, honestly, an inside zone there, but given the way the passing game has been going for Tim so far, I get it, Call an aggressive play call, wasn't there, ended up going to the drag as 17-7 now. Again, I do like to play kind of the possession game. We are going to see Atlanta get the ball back to start the second half, so if Atlanta could put a nice sustained drive together here, even if it does only end up in 3, he could find himself in a pretty good situation heading into the second half. Once again, we have a RPO as Bijan Robinson tried to hit the edge. It was never there. 7 for 8 for Bijan.
Yeah, he's sticking with it. So, I mean, I give him credit for that. It's not staying to his game plan, but, at some point he's going to bust one open. It just depends on, if Ben gets, stays away from the run or continues at it.
Really good user, as we're going to have a deep shot here into coverage. Intercepted by J.C. Horn, the former South Carolina Gamecock. As it was a one-on-one shot to a taller receiver, didn't animate. J.C. Horn had the positioning, and Tim might be on the verge of running away with it here in the first half.
Yeah, those jump balls are weird. It's just so weird to throw it. Do you highball it? Do you not? Do you lob it? Do you not? It's just it's very hard to figure those out.
Mm-hmm. I have not been able to figure those out even with Justin Jefferson. As we're setting up for another deep shot here. Excuse me, as he goes to the crosser, Devin Duvernay wide open. Duvernay tried to cut upfield as that play with my eyes too. I wasn't even looking at the left side of the field, but good play call there as we have another chunk play in the passing game.
That's that first down. Come out in a heavy set and run play action. Like I said, Ben's been running a lot of man coverage, and he's kind of torching him on these plays. So when Ben goes to zone, Tim struggles a little more. So I would just play heavy zone here and kind of see what he does.
You also see is really stacking the box here with his safeties, and yes, he does have fast safeties, of course, but it is a situation where he might be able to get some stuff going deep as Miles Sanders breaks a tackle, but look out here on the hit stick. No, shed that one as well. I think Tim's outplayed Ben so far for sure, other than that one kind of bomb that Roche had pick. I think Tim's outplayed Ben, but also it does kind of feel like Ben's getting the short end of the stick when it comes to Madden with all of these broken tackles.
Yes, but if he clicked on and made the pick on that lob pass, he would have had the ball. So
Right,
if it's
yeah.
momentum, you got to make your own momentum sometimes. So
100%.
Ben's got to really step up and make a play.
Yeah. So can't complain about it too much for sure. As we have another blitz situation here, as we have a it's not a power out. I forget what those are technically called. I guess it's like one of those 94 will plays, but not able to get it. Calais Campbell makes an impact for the first time as we're going to have single back bunch nasty. There are some freaky play calls out of this formation. We'll see what Tim does. More play action here as he does have the flats open, wide open, in fact, goes to the flats. Marshall makes man misses. Tim's first read has been open pretty much this entire game.
Yeah, that's like the 5th zig route he's hit so far. That's an adjustment that Ben has to make. Like I said, play underneath, hard flat, something.
Yeah.
Because again, 3rd down, Ben goes man coverage, Tim goes zig route. It's been like nonstop. So there has to be adjustment at some point.
And Ben's pretty consistently. I get that he's not wanting to like completely telegraph these, and man, he's also kind of setting up where his safety is nowhere near the slot receivers. So yeah, you see, those quick out routes, the zig routes, like you were saying, they're gonna be even more open just based on that. So it's been tough, and like you said, Ben's gonna have to adjust. We'll see what he does here. So we have an inside zone, has a lane to Sanders. Sanders makes a man, runs a man over. Oh my goodness, that'll take us to 1st and goals. We could be seeing a 3-possession lead here for Carolina at halftime.
I don't know what Miles Sanders' truck rating is, but I was not expecting him to try to bowl over the dude.
No, I don't. Yeah, Miles Sanders, I think, is more of a finesse back. I don't really know, but definitely.
I don't think he's anything. I think he just thinks. But what do I know?
Yeah, he just runs in a straight line and just tries his best. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's kind of how my running back goes too. Honestly, we'll try to draft someone. 1st and goal, Tim. Doing the right thing here, letting the play clock run down as we have a handoff. Nothing. For Miles Sanders there. Why is Atlanta not calling timeout here?
I don't know. Ben must be on full tilt. We'll see. If he goes like a cover 0 right here, he's in full tilt. I don't know.
Engage 8. Let's get it. Thank you, Morty, putting your 2s in the chat. I appreciate that. See, he's not calling cover 0, but yeah, no, very, very interesting clock management here, or lack thereof from Atlanta. There are very few situations that are more obvious than this to call timeout in, but here we are. Once again, Carolina doing the right thing here, doing a few audibles here, just letting the clock run down. We'll see how aggressive Carolina gets here with play calling, as he will drop back. I don't know if he got nano detected. That was weird, as we have a slip screen, which I didn't even notice. Sanders hits the head. Touchdown. Panthers.
Jeez. That's a great play call. That was like the last thing I would have expected. It looked like a 4 vert, right? And then Sanders slipped out and said, I can truck people, I can catch the ball, I can run straight into the end zone. And he did.
He's him. Apparently Miles Sanders is just him. Who knew? But 24-7 here is once again Atlanta, has kind of screwed themselves out of some time here. You've obviously still got all 3 timeouts, so field goal range is still very doable, but could have had more time than this. What do you... I know we've kind of been talking about adjustments you would make if you're Ben on defense, but, like, heading into halftime here, he's going to be down multiple possessions no matter what. Like, what is the adjustment you're making here on defense if you're Ben?
Well, first you're scoring, and then you're scoring again, right? Then once you're back on defense, Tim kind of telegraphing what he's doing. When he's under center, you need to be containing, right? And then playing underneath coverage. He's, there's not that much... almost a crazy run. Tim's not doing. All of Tim's reads are extremely simple, right? And they're open, so there's no point to do anything crazy. So take away those simple reads and force him into something he doesn't want to do. When Tim's under center, you have to blitz someone off the edge, contain. Don't let Bryce Young get on the edge because he's making his reads super easy, and Ben hasn't taken those away yet.
Not yet. Yeah, we'll see who's able to do it. As we have another run call here. This is. It's working somewhat, but I don't know. You're now in a situation where you've only got 1 timeout, 27 seconds left. Is this just like a lack of confidence in the passing game or trying to catch Tim off guard? I don't know. I'll be interested to ask Ben about this decision-making after the fact here. As we have a 5-man rush, does not hit, goes to the flats as Kyle Pitts is going to get tackled inbounds, so that's going to be the final timeout. That's tough.
Yeah, he also wasted 2 extra seconds. You got to be on that clock, and that was just rough. But 1 play, spike, field goal range. Let's see.
Yep. Got to get to the 40 here. I don't know what the win situation is. I don't think it's anything too crazy. And if you're Tim, just play back. You can allow the checkdowns here. As he was about to allow the check down, but the 4-man rush came in screaming. Desmond Ridder with an okay stat line. It's nothing, obviously, nothing like Bryce Young, who apparently is just on demon timing here, but 17 seconds left. Again, the one play spike is still an option for you. He's definitely got enough time for that, but he's going to have to hit something. He's going to have to hit an intermediate route downfield, and that is something that Ben has struggled with, and frankly, Desmond Ridder has struggled with throughout this game. Is Desmond Ritter's going to take a deep shot here once again into coverage, as it is this time swatted away by J.C. Horn.
So you saw the two linebackers blitzing there, and Ben blocked the running back. Put that guy on a route. He's wide open, and Ben decided to block him, and then kind of saw man coverage. You got the man coverage you wanted. The post was open, but just went for the deep ball. And Mike Williams not showing out too good so far.
Yeah, no.
But special teams.
Good punt. Honestly, just QB sneak this here and take it to halftime. There's no reason to risk a safety. But, it has not been the most, I won't say creative, it hasn't been the most, complex offensive strategy in the world. It has not been, anything too crazy. It's just, Tim's been having the right play calls to the right situations. His first read has seemingly always been open. He's hit on a couple chunk plays. As we are going to have, I don't know about this. Oh, my goodness!
Jeez.
Tim maybe feeling himself a little there.
If I'm Ben, I'm run committing here. I don't care what the play is. I'm run committing and taking my free safety and standing in my own end zone. You have a chance to get 2 points here. I don't care if he's in passing set. I don't care. Yeah. It's RPO. It's like a run RPO. Pick this.
Play deep with one safety. Run commit.
Stand over the RPO. You know what I mean? If he's got that spread out wide, run commit, cover the RPO, and then you know what? If he scores, he scores. You're down.
To me, you just QB sneak this here. Honestly, if you're,
for sure.
I don't know what type of 99-yard play you're trying to get here, but as he does exactly that, as Bryce Young falls forward, that is going to take us to halftime. And Warren, you said score then score again. He did not do the first part of that. At best here,
it was a weird drive. He started off running the ball way too much, and it doesn't look like Ben's very confident in his passing game. Give credit to Tim. He's mixing up his defensive coverages. He's got his 4-man rush with a bunch of not even Brian Burns, like the other 3 guys are getting pressure. So it's not been easy. The only things Ben's been able to do is throw quick drags or checkdowns.
And Tim's been playing well. For what he's tried to bring to the table here, he's playing very well. And I feel like I've probably sounded like I've been discrediting Tim this game. I certainly don't mean to, because he's played a very solid game. Really only one read, the deep shot there on the post route that I should have picked off that maybe we would take back. But other than that, got to give him credit. He's been one step ahead of Ben, pretty consistently, really on both sides of the ball with his play calling. So we'll see whether it keeps up, as we have a pin pull sweep here, which is not a play call I love, as it goes for gain of 3.
Yeah. Oh, and I love it. Going Kumar on him with the no huddle. So let's kind of see what he's doing if he can get a drive going.
Yeah, this is some classic Ben here. We're going to see a lot of no huddles. The game goes on. So we have a trap. I don't know what type of reading of the lanes that was, but it still works as Bijan Robinson falls forward. That is his biggest run of the day. But we've seen a lot of hesitation in the backfield from Ben in running games.
It's there. Just take it to the outside. He's looking for the cutback, and Tim's not giving it to him. So you just got to, from now on, say, hey, everyone, I'm bouncing it until he forces me to cut back inside.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim has done a good job at some points of shooting the gaps, but yeah, that's a situation where you just got to take that as he gets trapped on the D-line. RB might have RB open instead. Look out, intercepted by Jeremy. And will this be a pick 6? He does not attempt it, but that might be ball game.
He had to rush that throw. It was under pressure. Again, the defensive line got in. Wow. Pitch was open. That pitch was 100% open. It was a good read. It's just one of those didn't work out.
Wasn't able to lead, as we have a strong power here. Sanders just wiggle, breaks a tackle. Sanders.
Okay. If Ben calls DDA on this, I completely agree. After watching Miles Sanders bounce off 3 dudes there, there's no way. There's no reason.
He's running like prime, Madden Nick Chubb, prime Jonathan Taylor. This is wild to behold here, as he's again really stacking the box. Ooh, his U of A numbers disadvantage there on the left side. This is interesting as we have, again, another RPO as Marshall with not a lot. Ben played that well with his user.
Yeah, both people played that. That was perfect. That was like the perfect like offense was right and defense was right.
Mm-hmm.
So good play.
Just two Madden gods here taking the gridiron is, once again, Carolina's up 17. Even, a field goal, I guess, wouldn't do too much in terms of the flow of this game, but, a nice long sustained drive here by Tim would really, I think, kind of kill Ben's chances in this game. We'll see whether Tim's able to put that together as we have no, not an inside zone, as Bryce Young gets picked up and slammed to the ground.
We just don't want to see any mistakes from Tim. Just, if it's third down, don't force it. Ben hasn't been able to drive, so make him come down and drive and score 3 touchdowns, in the second half.
That's an animation that will obviously result in fumbles, occasionally. I don't know. It's just kind of there for no reason. It's great, and Jarrett screams at him as that was about to be a pick. It's actually good that Bryce Young didn't get that throw off, but that is the stop that Atlanta needed, and now, he's still up against it here, but that's the first time he stopped Carolina, I think, all day.
Yeah, I want to see Ben not run on the first play. Just come out and just go. He's just got to go, and let's kind of see what he does, because every drive, his first run hasn't been so good, and then he just he gets himself in third and long.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he was able to, he converted the third and longs on his first drive. He was able to do that twice, and since then, I don't think he's converted a single one. And like you said, he's been in that situation quite a bit, so we'll see what he does here. Looks like he's setting up for a potential shot play here, which I get it. Given the way the game's gone, I understand why that would be the play call here. Well, no, it's not a shot play, but we'll see what he's able to do here. As he will drop back good user, and Desmond Ridder goes down as 4 Panthers bring him to the ground.
Yeah, Ben's is super uncomfortable. He had a few guys open on that play. I think he was just looking for Pitts, and that's all he looked for. If you scan the right side, he had the curl open. I think Ben's just kind of forcing it at this point.
Well, that is why, I'm not going to act like this is some, revolutionary, concept by me. Oh my goodness, as it looks like the user was open there. Kyle Pitts breaks a tackle. Pitts falls forward, but, no, every third down I got Ben in our game, I just usered Kyle Pitts, and I just followed him across the field, because, that's his first read. And I think Tim's starting to realize that, too, as it's going to be an illegal man downfield. I don't know who on, but we know that based on the flag timing. As the center gets too far down.
Every time someone goes man coverage in this game, they're getting torched. This is a clear, it's just not working. Go zone, rush 3, or rush 4, whatever. But every man coverage, they're just running the perfect concepts to beat it.
Yeah, definitely is. It hasn't victimized Tim quite as much. Obviously, he's still gotten quite a few chunk plays of his own. We'll see as he's setting up for another 5-man rush here as we have a quick curl route. Kyle Pitts not able to break a tackle, still able to fall forward. Gain of 10 is just as expected. We're going to see a lot of no huddle for the rest of this game. This is something he does. He no huddles, and then he does all sorts of audibles. Might as well at that point just come out under center, in my opinion. Bijan Robinson runs into 2 offensive linemen, gets the first down.
We haven't seen Bijan break any big tackles. Not. We haven't seen that superstar type of play, so I don't know what the deal is with him. But
we've seen it out of Miles Sanders a lot, not so much out of Bijan. As we're gonna have another 5-man rush. Is very lucky to get the throw off there. Is Chris Lindstrom, one of the better offensive linemen, if you believe in offensive lineman ratings, which I don't, but one of the better O linemen goes down.
I'm indifferent, and then when I played Alex, Micah Parsons literally ran over my backup. He's 56 overall left tackle. Literally just ran him over, and I was okay, you can't be 56 overall.
No, definitely. But it seems like there's a baseline of competence, I guess, and then once you get to that point, it really doesn't matter too much, in my opinion, unless you have abilities. But
think about this: if you have 70 zone or 99 zone. They're playing the zone the same. It's just the knockout chances. It's really no one's throwing into coverage that much. So it's very this game's very, very different.
Interesting.
So it's hard to good run there.
Yeah,
and there's a broken tackle.
Yeah.
3 quarters.
Finally, Ben's got to be asking where was that in the first and second quarter, but we're going to see more no huddle here. Gotta put 7 on the board, obviously. I'm not breaking any news when I say that, as once again, he takes Pitts away, intercepted! Dante Jackson, and will this be a pick 6? as it is going to be an easy one. No Falcons are in the vicinity as he is going to stroll his way in the end zone.
And run with the ball in one hand.
Yep, and just run with the ball like I used to do in like 5th grade pickup games. That was cool.
Yeah, jeez.
That perhaps.
I mean, this is a flip from the first game that they played.
Yeah. This is, I mean, as non-competitive as this game has been, this is how the first game was, in the other direction, in Ben's direction. But again, y'all, look at Ben's schedule, look at Tim's schedule. We've got, I don't know who has the better overall divisional record between the two. I know that Ben lost to Lucky once, and I think he plays Lucky again, so that's still in flux. But there is absolutely a world where Tim wins this division. In fact, he might be the slight favorite after this game, because Ben's schedule is not easy. It's Kook, Cmass, Lucky. 3 guys who could definitely take him down, so we'll see. But 31-7 here as he will drop. What type of? I mean, it was a slip screen, but even first slip screen, that blocking was horrible.
This is like the complete different game from me watching Ben a couple of weeks ago. So I don't know what changed or whatever. He should just uninstall, reinstall, and just start fresh because throw this game out.
Yeah. Wonder if that helps. As oh my goodness, look out! As 3 Panthers were in the vicinity there, triple coverage on the kind of the intermediate crossing route there, but 3rd and 10. As I'm about to start talking about this game in the past tense here, if he's not able to convert this 3rd down. So he goes to a quick zig route there on the left side, Mike Williams in break tackle. But yeah, I mean, it's the game was competitive up until I'd say halfway through the second quarter, and since then it has just been all Tim, like on both sides of the ball, which I was not expecting.
Yeah, he really, been balling out, and it's just not making mistakes, not doing things he shouldn't do, not forcing the ball, not turning it over, and sometimes that's all you need to do to win.
Continuing to send heat as we're going to see another deep shot and another interception by Dante Jackson. That is Ritter's 4th pick as the Atlanta Falcons offense is spiraling.
Yeah, it's at this point, that's rough. I'd like to see him click on a little sooner than that. It looked like he didn't get a chance to kind of come underneath, but I mean, Tim's not even swatting. He doesn't even give a shit. He's just playing the ball.
He's just going for the pick, and I respect it. Yeah. It's very Austin-like. You'll never see Rhode Island Austin. You will see him go for the pick like in 90% of the time as we have a counter to the left, and someone validating my play calling here as the counter hits for gain of 5.
Yeah, I hate that. Like when you get run now, so if you complain about the run game, everyone's like, "Well, get out of nickel," and it's like they're running from shotgun. Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah,
like just walk the ball. Like, no, like I should at least go for it if I try to pick it.
For sure. Yeah, especially depending on game situation. As Bryce Young will drop back, as that is 4 Vertons going to the dump off, dropped or swatted away by Edmonds. Couldn't really tell, but I mean, yeah, I'm gonna keep obviously commentating the plays, but this game's over.
Yeah. Man, I know I said it twice already, but like, I don't know if it's like, is it the patch or again, the game's different. Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. That's DDA right there. The game's definitely different from a couple weeks ago. Just overall, like pursuit's a little bit better. Usually when the game drops, you're like, oh, we just have to adjust. Sure, we do. But at the same time, this is not the same game. This is not like where everything was a broken tackle. It's like a little toned down. So I don't know if that's kind of what Ben's deal is, that Bijan just isn't running over everybody, but it's definitely a different game. After that last RPO that should have been picked, that kind of just tells you the story of how this one went.
Yeah, you're definitely right about the broken tackles point. I will say Ben has also missed a lot of lanes in the running game. We've seen it pretty consistently where it seems like, it was like, but it was like you said, in the first quarter, I believe, where he keeps looking for the cutback lane when the initial lane is there, and he just needs to get to it and hit it. And we have not seen that. But, even if he had ran the ball better, 4 picks is 4 picks. And Tim, despite a couple shaky reads, has played, damn near a perfect game on offense.
Yeah, it's really been, again, nothing too crazy, but just, there is no pressure whatsoever. I know there's a spy, but still, like I said, when you're playing a mobile quarterback and they're under center, they're going to want to get outside the pocket. So you can't let him outside the pocket. And I think Tim got very comfortable early, and with that, he kind of had the confidence to kind of do whatever he wanted to do.
Yeah, it's been a very confident game by Tim, 100%. Sometimes too confident. We've seen a couple of those types of reads so far, but I mean, it makes sense. It seems like he's gotten the, oh my goodness, nearly intercepted by Terrell as he had it in both hands and then ran into the Panthers' helmet as that kind of sums up the game.
That was pretty bad. Tim should just run it, punt it. There's no reason to throw into coverage there, but they're playing the game.
I don't know. I wonder if any of this is Tim trying to run up the score. Really send a message. I'm curious.
He should have got picked off twice on that drive.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? If you're going to lose, just get it out of your system. You're going to have a bad game, get that out of your system. If you're Ben, you're better than how you played. You're a good player with a good team. So he'll be back.
No, Ben has been, I think, at least in terms of the regular season, I don't know if this carries over to like how I evaluate the playoffs, but in terms of the regular season, he has been the second best user in the NFC, I would say. He's played a very solid schedule. He's won a lot of games against a lot of great users, and this is a game, obviously, that he'll want to throw away, like you said. And we'll see if he's able to do that, because there are a lot of important regular season games coming up if he wants a shot at the division, and then the playoffs are just around the corner here, probably in about 10 days real time. So we'll see whether he's able to kind of bounce back here as Lucky asking if Ben's washed. Lucky, I don't think Ben's washed, but this has been... I'm hard-pressed to think of a worse performance in this Madden so far from Ben. Which, everyone has these games as Kyle Pitts was wide open, but the rush got through just in time.
That's a few times where the rush just gets there, and that's the difference. I mean, the Panthers team really has a little bit more juice, and no joke, they're getting after the quarterback. And it's not because Tim's doing anything. They're just getting pressure. I mean, he's rushing 5 there, so, heck yeah.
Another deep shot and almost another pick as these 50-50 balls have just not gone Ben's way.
Yeah, I'd like to see him highball it or something. He's his corners are just getting great animations. Yeah.
I mean, this is a great secondary. You don't see a lot of abilities out there, but Dante Jackson, J.C. Horn, I forget there was a third DB that got a pick at one point, but it's a very solid, at least based on ratings, it's a very solid secondary, so you don't expect guys to win a ton of jump balls against those guys, but also Ben's not doing himself any favors, not clicking on, not highballing.
A jump ball in the first place is a coin flip, right? And then based on ratings, it's higher or lower. So it's not like it's an open read. It's you're just hoping that the game gives you that, gives it to you, because there's no other way. If he has a step, cool, but none of these guys are open.
Those traps out of gun are so boom or bust. It's you either get that initial block or you don't. There he did not. Once again, Desmond gets screamed out, somehow able to get that throw off. Bijan gets the catch there. That was kind of crazy, but I've seen 3 plays.
The traps are full though, don't they? When you see it and you're like, oh shoot, I forgot I had this play, and then you run it and you're like, okay, why did I do that?
Oh yeah. No, I mean, last Madden, traps was that was my game. I love traps. The Deuce Close trap. There were a couple out of single back. Not so much this Madden. I don't think they're quite as effective this Madden based on my experience, but they do look cool, certainly. 31-7 here, we've got that streak angle combo that some users like to run as neither was open. Desmond Ritter's going to roll out and throw it away.
Yeah, I've noticed that too with this trap. It's very, depends on the formation, depends on the front. You have to make 3 cuts before you even get to the line of scrimmage to maneuver past 3. It's very difficult. When it works, it's cool, but it's not as simple as it was.
Mm-hmm. Jesse did a really good job. He has at least one guard with a nasty streak and puller elite. I think he might have 2, but he has at least one. And he, at least against me, ran a lot of traps to that guy's side. And I mean, he was just massacring my second, third level defenders. Was able to get a lot of nice chunk runs out of that. But so I say that to say, it can be effective in the right situation, but had to be open instead. Well, never had him, I guess, because it was intercepted by Chin. Says now Desmond Ritter's 5th pick is
this might be the time to kick the router.
Oh shit! My wife turned the Xbox off. Sorry. Yeah. Sucks. Fair sim, I guess.
Yeah.
Lucky,
Hey,
are
run it
the
back.
are,
Run
are the
it back
washed
0-0.
allegations continuing? Yeah. Let's run it back 0-0.
Yeah.
Some people would ask for that as we have and there is the nasty streak that I was talking about. Miles Sanders with the game. Tommy Tremble, a solid Madden tight end, goes down.
At the goal line running it twice, Tim's offense is giving me like agita. Like it's working, but like I'm just so scared every time he does something. I'm like, this shouldn't work, and it's worked. So
It's a very boomer bust, very boomer bust, very risky scheme out of Tim. It's worked this game. I have seen it completely fall apart in others. Turf toe. What is turf toe?
apparently it's very painful. I don't know.
Right, I've heard that. I just like, as a kid, I was always like, oh, you like got turf in his toenail or something. I know obviously that's not it, but it seems like it sucks.
I'm looking at the pictures and they don't look too pleasant. So I think it's
I would imagine that, yeah.
what you never want to do is like Google any sort of like injury or thing.
No, it sounds horrible. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Joint sprain is an injury to the connective tissue between the foot and a toe. And then it's known as turf toe when the big toe is involved. So it's an injury to the connective tissue. Yeah, and apparently it's super painful. So yeah, do not want that as we have a draw RPO that actually almost works. But
So does that mean it's painful from like the bottom of your toe all the way to your heel? Like, or is it just your toe? Like, what hurts?
Yeah, and I'm curious, saying like what movements would exacerbate that kind of pain? Like, I assume you can't run. Obviously, like it is walking out the picture. Like, what are you able to do with turf toe?
Oh, so so I'm looking at it. It looks like when he said the ball of your foot, I think you mean like the.
You get hyped for that because you don't see any of those.
Oh wow!
Sheesh.
You know what? Hell yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
Like that made the game fun for him. He's like, you know what? We got special teams, so we're good. So like turf toe is like that. So when like on the heel of not the heel of your toe, but like the fat part underneath your toe, like I don't know what it's called, like that.
Yeah. Like yes.
That sounds that's not pleasant.
No, yeah. We'll see if Young Hui Koo, the onside god, can get this here. I know some people hate Young Hui Koo. I don't know why. He's a very good kicker, but yeah, Carolina able to secure it, and that's going to officially wrap things up. 31-13 Carolina.
Is it true? Alex in Allen's game, he did an onside kick and Alex returned it for a touchdown.
Yes. The clip's out there. It was he got like the worst bounce like known to man, where it just like bounced like straight into I think it was Deuce Vaughn's hands. Like while he was on the
special teams demon. Yeah.
Yeah. The 5'8" guy that you definitely want on the hands team, yeah.
Yeah, jumping.
Now, listen, Lucky, I mean, we'll put our medical hats on. Like, this is what separates BLN. Do you think MSR is talking about turf toe mid-game? Fuck now.
Everyone in the chat's like, great play, everyone. Wow, what a read.
Oh, my God. When was it? It was like a year ago. I watched it, and actually, like, I had to click off because the chat was giving me anxiety. It was like every single play. It was like a 3-yard drag out, and they're like, wow, great read. Ooh, almost had it. And I was just like, I can't do this.
I don't know what MSR is. That's not like MBL, right?
I don't know. I know it's the league that Samoan's in. I know they have a really, like, they're pretty established, I think, within, like, the CFM community.
Because I was in
not like MBL,
Bomber League in, like, the second, like when you join, you're in like the second league or whatever, and you really have to watch the games, and you have to talk in the chat.
Yeah, I just don't like.
It's forced. You can't like. It's just whatever. I mean, whatever works for them is cool, but like, I'm just. First of all, I never say good play to anybody, so like I already was in like shambles.
You could have just been like the most negative guy in the chat, being like, yeah, both these guys suck.
Yeah.
Where were we all in Madden 09 in Harlem? You could have just done that whole thing.
I mean, it's the real thing,
No, I know.
Listen,
I've seen the photos.
They used to do this was like when Madden crews were a thing, right? Like, and because there was online wasn't the same as it was now, where like just communication wise. So like there was crews where like they would find glitches in the game and not tell anyone. And I knew about it, where you could everyone would run 2-man under, so you could pump fake one safety, wiggle your quarterback, and the safety would bite, and then you can go over the top. It was like wild. So I knew about it, and like I was playing, and everyone was like yelling at me. It's just so weird.
So were they yelling at you for like was everyone else running that type of cheese as well, or was it like just you?
Oh yeah. Right? That's all it was. Because the fact that I knew it, and I knew how to stop it. So it was like I wasn't like one of these softies. But like having, I was a better play. But having like when you're standing there playing against someone, and then having like a bunch of dudes yell at you as you're playing, like when you think about it, it's like kind of weird because it's a video game, but at the same time, like it's really wild.
Competition is competition. Yeah, I respect you for thriving in that type of environment. I would crumble if people were like yelling at me as I was playing Madden. I'd be like, I don't like this. But I guess if it was like consistent, then I could probably just treat it as background noise.
That's you get used to not looking at your play art. You get used to like all those pressure situations, and an underthrow is complete to London and
That was
the broken tackle.
Uh-huh.
So that's what I don't understand. Like that broken tackle, like the game's just like, you know what, that was a good play. Here's the touchdown. Like it's so odd how that works. I was hoping for a Jurtle or something cool, but Ben obviously knows how to score touchdowns there, not me. But yeah, so like when I'm playing games now, if I'm like losing or I'm in my basement like drinking Diet Coke, like I'm cool. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm not worried. Like I'm chilling.
Right.
Like you see those clips of like Pod or whatever, even like Gears of War, like they're just like these kids just yelling at each other. It gets pretty wild. Like I love that. I love competition. I really do.
Nah, yeah. I've obviously never experienced something like that, like in a video game. I've played like, yeah, nothing like that certainly. But
not even like tennis. You guys have to be cordial.
we have a cordial. Yeah, high school tennis and then like college tennis were both like not like that. But yeah, like nowadays, when I'm playing against like 40, 50-year-olds in like adult tournaments, yeah, it's pretty chill. You can't really.
I shouldered a kid in hockey over the weekend, and because he was like trying to draw a penalty, and I told him to shut the F up.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, oh, just a kid.
Okay.
Like whatever, dude. If we're out there, it's whatever it is. Some people are competitive, some aren't. This was a great win for Tim. Honestly, I probably would have bet all my money he was going to lose, and I would have been broke. So,
yep. That's why I'm not in Boz bets, but yeah, shout out to Tim. The final score is going to make it look more competitive than it actually was. On paper, it's only a 2-score game, but Tim had control of this really from the middle of the first quarter, and big shout to him. He did a really good job. We'll see. Is anyone in here? Now it's just us, so I'm assuming there's not going to be post-game interview here, but just what are your final thoughts on this game, and then like kind of how you're perceiving the league heading into playoff time here?
I think it's it's a good game as far as like two NFC playoff teams that are battling. Like we said, the NFC is really wide open. There's so many teams that can win in any game. So, kind of Tim just cemented himself and put himself in that range with the other guys. So we'll see how he finishes up the season. And Ben needs to get on his horse and start winning some games, because he's kind of slipping a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. It's been, definitely not as good of a second half of the season as it was to the first half. And this is a good game for Tim. This is definitely a blow to guys like Allen and Hero, guys who are kind of on the peripheral of the wild card race, because this is now probably one less wild card spot that's realistically up for grabs at this point. So that's tough for them. So we're probably going to see one of Allen or Hero miss the playoffs here, which is something I would not have expected going in, even with Hero's field op or whatever. But great game by Tim. He played well. Ben's obviously going to kind of try to get back in the lab here, get his offense going more consistently, get Bijan going in the running game, because that was kind of wild to see. But thanks for joining me here, man. Any final thoughts before we wrap up here?
No. Do you have an early playoff preview? kind of how you think things are going to shake out, or
oh Lord, let me pull.
You don't have to go. You don't have to go super in depth. You could just say, "Hey, you know what? Give me one surprise. About a playoff surprise."
All right, 1 second. 1 second. Okay, then Jan app hates me. There we go. My playoff surprise. Ooh. All right, so I'm going based off of, like, obviously a lot of things are going to shake out. I'm going based on the current standings, the current matchups. One of Morty or Justin will make the NFC Championship game because I think
Nice.
because that's the 3-6 game right now, and then I have both of those guys beating Ben in the divisional round. So that'll be a surprise.
That'd be interesting. That's a cool prediction. I'm going to say Dahudi makes the Super Bowl.
So his path, I'm just going based on like purely right now, his path would be Cody, then probably you, then I mean, if he gets through Cody, you, and Little, I mean, that's a wild playoff run. That would be.
Yeah. I think I'll beat him, 99 out of 100 times. But if there was something that that's why I say it's like, a surprise. I think he's starting to come on a little bit. His game's picking up a little bit from where he started, and he's been under the radar with how he's been, after his like really slow start. But Cody and him and Austin all gonna have to. They played each other now, 2 times each, so they know how they play. So those are gonna be some battles in the playoffs between those teams.
So yeah, I mean that was one of the reasons why I was so fired up. Like when the divisions came out, and it was Hootie, Austin, and Cody all in the same division. Is like those are games where they already know each other's play styles pretty well, and now they're gonna see each other multiple times this season, and just kind of continue to get used to each other and like what their tendencies are as the cycle moves on. So like that's gonna be really interesting. And then if we see those matches in the playoffs as well, it's gonna be fun. But big shout out to everyone who joined us. It was, as I scroll real quick through the chat here, Lucky, Dan, Morty, Matt, obviously Cmass tried his best. I think he's gonna buy a new computer here, so we'll get him on more comms. But Warren, thanks for joining, man. I appreciate it.
You too, man. Have a great night.
Yeah, you too. And thank you all for watching.